A momentous decision. Number one, a momentous decision. At the end of the Roman Empire in 476, Europe had long since had a new faith. Instead of one empire, there were many so-called Roman barbarian kingdoms. Broadly speaking, this was the situation. Starting from the north, the Angles and the Saxons were in the former Roman province of Britain. The Franks were in the ancient province of Gallia, Gaul. The Frisians and the Alemanni were east of the Rhine. The Visigoths were in the Iberian Peninsula. The Ostrogoths and later the Lombards were in Italy. The Vandals were in North Africa. And in the east, the Byzantine Empire was still resisting. A momentous decision faced the church. What attitude should it adopt regarding the new situation? The decision that opened the church to the future was not arrived at immediately or without difficulties. The church repeated in part what had happened much later when it separated from the Judean and when it separated from Judaism and accepted Gentiles within the church. The general bewilderment of the Christians reached the peak in 410 when Alaric, king of the Goths, sacked Rome. It was thought that the end of the world had arrived, as the world was then identified with the Roman world and the Roman world with Christianity. Saint Jerome, the most representative voice of this general confusion, wrote, "Who would believe that Rome, built up by the conquest of the whole world, had collapsed? From an intellectual point of view, St. Augustine contributed the most toward ferrying the faith into the new world with his work, De Civitate Dei, the City of God. In his vision, which marked the beginning of the philosophy of history, he distinguished the city of God from the earthly city identified at times, interjecting his own thought a bit with the city of Satan. But earthly city, he meant every political order. By earthly city, he meant every political order, including that of Rome. So the fall of Rome was not the end of the world, but only the end of a world. In practice, the Roman pontiff played a key role in opening the faith to the new reality and coordinating its initiatives. St. Leo the Great had a clear awareness that Christian Rome would survive pagan Rome, and as a matter of fact, Rome attained a wider sway by the worship of God than by earthly government. Gradually, the attitude of Christians toward outside peoples changed. From being thought of as inferior beings incapable of civilization, they began to be considered as potential future brothers and sisters of the faith. From a permanent threat, the pagan world began to appear to the Christians as a new and vast mission field. Paul had proclaimed the abolition in Christ of the distinctions of race, religion, culture, and social class with these words: "There is no longer Greek and Jew, circumcised and uncircumcised, barbarian, Scythian, slave and free, but Christ is all and in all." But how much effort still remained to transform this revelation into practice, and not only in that era. 2.